Raiffeisen Tech is RBI Group internal company. And the purpose pretty much is to really provide high quality IT services and consulting.
We are part of RBI Group. We share the same values. We share the same strategic objectives. We have over 400 engineers, different specialties.
Welcome to Raiffeisen Tech podcast created by the employees of Raiffeisen Tech Poland to share our stories, case studies, experience, and to show what we do. If you like it, subscribe and stay up to date with our episodes. The guests of today's episode are Harald Schaschinger, CEO of Raiffeisen Tech, and Tomasz Farjan, Demand Management Lead, who will share insights of the company's strategy, services, and role in supporting RBI Group. Privately, Harald enjoys exploring new places, has a passion for science and adventure, and is an avid tennis player and alpine skier. And Tomasz enjoys traveling and exploring new cuisines, discovering different cultures and flavors around the world. Is it true?
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
Good research. So would you have anything else to be added here? Would you like to tell us something that maybe our listeners don't know about you yet? Is there anything like that?
Professionally, I would say, and also privately, to add on this, I would say that I'm a very happy person. I'm usually quite optimistic on things and looking forward to a lot what may come next.
Thank you. And Tomek, anything from you?
I think the description was pretty accurate, so it's difficult to add any additional information here. But I may also say that it's not only exploring new cuisines that is important for me, but also cooking. So also trying at home what I tasted abroad.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Good. So we are ready to go further.
Yes, and in today's episode we will discuss topics such as who Raiffeisen Tech is and why it was created, the role of Raiffeisen Tech as a technology backbone and its hubs, key services offered to end use and how demand management ensure business needs are met, how co-creation and close collaboration differentiate Raiffeisen Tech from external vendors, and why should NVUs choose Raiffeisen Tech as their technology partner.
Mm-hmm. And just for the beginning, this is our first episode. So, Harald, question to you. For someone hearing about us for the first time, if you can say more, who is Raiffeisen Tech and why do we exist?
Thanks for that question. Well, Raiffeisen Tech is in the first place an RBI Group internal company, which is very important to us. And the purpose pretty much is to really provide high quality IT services and consulting to all RBI Group. Maybe also touching on your second leg of your question in terms of why does Raiffeisen Tech exists. It pretty much goes back something like 4 to 5 years when the initial idea of building that up was born, starting up from the RBI board initially with the understanding and the true kind of insight that technology and IT is really vital for banking business, not for IT, but for banking business, which is a core capability you have to have. And this is why Raiffeisen Tech was really inspired, also in times when looking back where IT resources were extremely scarce on the market. So there was a huge kind of fight for talents. And also it was tricky to attract new IT professionals into the financial sector. And this is why Raiffeisen Tech pretty much was formed. So to attract new talents, to set up a professional brand as Raiffeisen Tech on the market, and really also, and here thank you very much to the regulator, in a way, because there was some findings on RBI Group that there is way too much external companies within the entire IT field to really lower these dependencies and to kind of be stronger on group internal resources.
So we often say that Raiffeisen Tech is the technology backbone for the RBI Group. And what does it mean in practice?
Well, actually, on that question, I would object a little bit in terms of, for me, for Raiffeisen Tech, and I think for entire RBI Group, it is important to understand that the backbone of IT must be each and every individual local IT department. Because our job pretty much and our mission is to complement that with very skilled people, with very sophisticated services, but the backbone and the kind of ownership always must reside within the financial institution, the bank, the capital management, whoever we are serving. However, what is important for us, and where I see a kind of backbone square, that we really provide and preserve knowledge with our staff, which is vital for the organization, not only throughout the project or for first-year maintenance, but for the entire life cycle of any service, of any IT service provided to the bank. And with that, we are operating here as a local IT partner, complementing whatever the local organization cannot fulfill in a reasonable way by its own sources.
We operate through the hubs in Poland, Romania, and Kosovo. Why this model, and what does it bring to the group from your perspective?
There's actually several elements on this. The first element for sure is that it's a certain level of diversification. Diversification because of several reasons. And for me, the strongest reason here actually is that we do not see the same type of talents in the very markets. So every market has kind of specialities with advantages, but also potential disadvantages. And this is how we as a group can leverage that in the best possible way. Also, the idea is that diversification on a long-term perspective, as we are kind of built up for 5, 10 plus whatever years with one of the founding principle of preserving the knowledge. So we have to have a little bit of contingency over this market, because you never know what happens tomorrow in one or the other state, and how dynamics in the financial industry are developing. And here is also this kind of contingency reason.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And from your perspective, what are the key priorities for Raiffeisen Tech in today and in upcoming nearest future?
Thanks for that question. I would like to structure that question into a kind of outside and an inside view. Towards the outside view, it's with respect to the financial industry / end customers at the end of the day, because ultimately they pay our paychecks. And here it is important that we really provide value and create impact towards them. When turning that perspective inside, it's the overall question of staying relevant. And on relevance, I mean predominantly the element of attitude, which is very important to us, that we integrate our services seamlessly with our internal IT partners, so to really complement their teams, their services in a very, very smooth way. And which is even more and more important is the skill element, so that we really provide value with our people by providing good skills. I mean, here Needless to say that kind of AI is putting a very important topic on the table where not only we, but the entire industry has to pick up a lot on that. And that for sure is pretty important for all of our staff, including management, has to have a fair understanding on the capabilities and the consequences, apparently, on that, because that will change our industry, the IT industry, quite a lot. And the other topic for sure is kind of let's call it size or growth perspective for us, because ultimately the business model we run requires a certain size from number of people, etc. So to really justify that overall structure, because ultimately, and now this kind of full circle closes again towards the customer, we have to also maintain a reasonable, attractive price towards our partners. So then also to deliver good services at fair, reasonable market prices.
You mentioned AI. Does like technology like cloud data and also AI seen as something that shaped the future of the banking in RBI? How may Raiffeisen Tech help our partners like in this area?
This will be a quite strong change in the industry, for sure. And by industry, I mean IT industry, IT technology industry, not only banking in that aspect. Here, my understanding is that we will see quite a shift in focus, both of staff and also in terms of activities. I see people in that area working in significantly smaller teams than today, because there will be a lot of tasks, repetitive tasks, generative tasks, be augmented or replaced completely by AI in a way. So what we have to do and what we can bring into it, that mastering these tools, and for me AI is a tool at the end of the day, mastering this tool is or these tool sets and this approach is vital. It means for us that we have to really invest into that, not only by pure kind of training, but also by getting experienced on that, being it on a kind of proof of concept, being it on hackathons or other events, wherever we can gain that knowledge. So this is truly vital to me. Also reflecting back to the element of relevance for the future. And also into the direction of which we have neglected a little bit throughout the last years, which is the T-shaping, because in the last year we have very much, we are focusing on expertise level, depth, but not in the broad. But with AI, I think it's very important to have a comprehensive understanding on the process, starting from business into technology, and to really challenge whatever AI is generating.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and our vision is that we are the first choice technology partner for RBI Group to drive this transformation toward the future of banking. What does it mean?
Let's start from the hard point of view. From the hard point of view, and I know that in the financial industry, there's a lot of decisions done by mathematical approaches, but from a hard point of view, that we are fully recognized as an RBI Group internal entity, so being an intrinsic part of the full family, and meaning that whatever we jointly do together, whatever value we bring, whatever we contribute into that will stay and even further nurture the entire family, which is the one thing. The other thing is, let's call it the governance aspect on that. First choice technology partner means that even there is some IT strategies and whatever stating that we are this is not something you can prescribe, but we have to earn it. And by earn, I mean, and and seeing that in the best way, that our partners do not contract and collaborate with us because they have to, because of policies, but they want to do like that because they are convinced and they see the value we provide, the high level of compatibility in terms of values, for example, company like of values, to go with that, and ultimately the impact our services by our colleagues are generating towards them.
And what does this being the preferred technology partner for RBI really mean in day-to-day collaboration with RBI Group partners?
That we are seamlessly integrated into their processes, meaning that there is no real noise in this entire system, but really smoothly integration. That's one element for sure. The other element to me on that is very much that fulfilling also our mission in terms of this kind of long-term perspective. So really preserving the knowledge and experience which our people are gaining in the various project initiatives, whatever endeavors they are running and supporting, to preserve that in the group for a long time, to really reuse on that, and ultimately also to leverage, and I think this is the main advantage, that not only for one RBI Group entity, but across several entities. So to really bring that level not only into a single IT unit, but really generate this leverage across the group.
And Tomasz, question to you. As a demand management lead, how would you explain your role and responsibility? Shortly, one sentence.
So in one sentence, I'm making sure that the requests that we receive from our stakeholders, so be it from Raiffeisen head office, be it from the network units or Austrian subsidiaries, are answered with the right service, right skill, right capacity, and at the right time. It was one sentence.
It was, definitely.
Short one. Thank you. And what type of services or like key specialization, maybe some key technologies are currently most in demand across the RBI Group?
So let me start maybe with our delivery model within Raiffeisen Tech. So we have two pillars of our delivery model. One pillar is staff augmentation, and another one is provision of standalone IT services. And here the examples may be support and in development and maintenance of compliance tools, CRM system, FX platform, or the services that are related to IT security, like penetration testing. We have over 400 engineers, different specialties, front-end developers, back-end developers, UX designers, testers, security specialists. So we are basically covering the whole spectrum of possible engagements in IT projects, and it's very difficult to answer which service specifically or which skill is in the most demand across the group. I can clearly see that demands are fairly diversified, and that each specialty that we support and we offer as Raiffeisen Tech is bringing the value for the stakeholders.
And if you had to name three services that currently bring the biggest value to RBI Group, what would you say? If you have got any specific examples from Poland, Romania, or Kosovo, feel free to mention, so our listeners are aware what we are doing. So, in short, then three services that bring a lot of value to the group. First of all is the security support that we are offering from our Kosovo location. Here we are helping to protect the customers of Raiffeisen and their data from cyber threats. So I believe that this is one of the key functions that we are supporting here in the group. Secondly, there is a support that we are offering mainly from the Polish office. And this is implementation and running of the CRM system for Raiffeisen Group. Here we are supporting RBI
with becoming even more customer-centric organizations. I believe that this is also another great example of the value that we are bringing. And third engagement that we are having, where Romania is the main delivery center, is support in development and expansion of digital assets offering within RBI Group. And here we are on the forefront of innovation. So this is again another topic, completely different topic that we are where we are engaged, that we are supporting. And here our main goal is to help the bank to innovate and offer new products to the customers.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And if any NVO or any partner from Raiffeisen Group needs support with some area, what should they do first to start collaboration with us?
We have a dedicated relationship manager for each of the NVUs, plus to head office within Raiffeisen Tech. And the best way to start is simply get in contact with the relation manager, who is a really dedicated person for a particular entity, and arrange for a discussion about needs. This is where everything starts, to discuss what are the needs, where are the areas where we can support, and we take it from there.
Great. It's pretty simple, I guess.
It is. Okay. And we often talk about collaboration rather than about selling services. So how does this approach look like in real life? What does it mean in reality?
Thanks for the question, because this is really important to make a point here and to provide clarity. Even, of course, we have to sell our services in a way where our mission is not to make huge profits. Of course, we have to make some profits to satisfy local fiscal authorities, but our approach is pretty much into a partnership with our customers. And I think a main differentiator for us towards any other consulting company is not that we want to max out our services in terms of getting the best profit towards us, but rather much to provide the best value to customer. And we would even step back from one kind of services if we do not see a value for our customer, because ultimately that goes back to the impact understanding that at the end of the day, end customer pay our paychecks. So we have to ensure that RBI Group as its whole is successful, and then ultimately we will be successful as well.
And I think that we can say this is something that makes difference between Raiffeisen Tech and external vendors, right?
Absolutely, because they have to care for their balance sheet only. I mean, of course, this is important to us as well, but not the ultimate objective.
And in one sentence, where do you want Raiffeisen Tech to be in the next few years in case operation in a group?
There is several topics. One for sure is to really ensure this first choice technology partnership, coming really deep also from the hearts of network units and any type of collaboration partners such as Austrian subsidiaries, etc., to really engrave that understanding towards them as well. That's the first dimension. The second dimension is for sure right now we have about 92% of our business with RBI, which is very kind of focused. I would like to go a little bit into some diversification with regards to Austrian subsidiaries, with regards to network units, and maybe ultimately also to other customers, which we are not mandated yet to do business with. And for sure, and this is as important as the other two dimensions for our staff, for our people, to really see Raiffeisen Tech as a kind of very solid company where they have fun to work for, to see a real sense of living, there, and not only take or come towards Raiffeisen Tech physically or logically to earn their kind of living, but also to enjoy their life.
And looking at the services Raiffeisen Tech offers, how would you like them to deliver maximum impact on digital transformation of the RBI Group?
I mean, for us, the most important thing is our people. There is no discussion about that, and this will also stay in the future. So reflecting onto that, it's again this kind of attitude, so extremely strong collaboration with our IT partners is of utmost importance, and of course the impact, the skill set, the flexibility they bring into the job, to really deliver good IT services.
Last one for both of you. One sentence to our potential partners across RBI Group, but as you mentioned, like maybe also Network Unix, everybody. Why should they choose Raiffeisen Tech as their technology partner?
Because we are family, and our goal is not to maximize profits from these specific customers, but rather much to maximize the impact they generate on their customers ultimately.
So our goal is pretty much the same.
Yeah, of course.
I subscribe to what Harald said, and I can also say that we are part of RBI Group. We share the same values, we share the same strategic objectives. And also because we are part of RBI Group, we plan the relationship with our partners, with our stakeholders on a long-term perspective. And we aim for sustainable relation and not only maximizing short-term gains.
Thank you so much.
Hot or not, this is the part where together with our guests we bust or confirm some of the most popular stories tied to today's theme. So, Harald, Tomasz, we've got a mix of myths and hits about technology. And after we read each one, tell us first whether you think this is hit or myth and explain why.
Hot or not, like in digital banking, technology is the most important factor.
Not. The most important factor are always people.
Harald, hot or not, collaboration with Raiffeisen Tech means that an NVU must give up its local IT initiatives.
This is a definite not, because we see ourselves as complementing local IT and IT initiatives rather than replacing them.
Tomasz, hot or not, Raiffeisen Tech works on both new projects and support the maintenance and development of existing systems.
Hot. We are supporting RBI Group in both areas.
Harald, hot or not, only large entities within the RBI Group can use Raiffeisen Tech services.
Also here, a definite not, because any size of IT organization can use Raiffeisen Tech services. So there's definitely no constraint on the size of the other organization.
Tomasz, hot or not, IT project management at Raiffeisen Tech combines best consulting practices with a unique approach to the group's needs.
Hot. Project management is important part of any IT initiative. However, we do not limit ourselves in project management tried setup. We believe that all approaches have their legitimation and each of them is providing different pros and cons.
Mm-hmm. And Harald, hot or not, Raiffeisen Tech works closely with NVUs, understands local needs and tailors solutions to each market's realities.
Hot again, because our ultimate mission is to provide customer value and impact. So we always strive to work closely with any RBI unit to maximize on value.
Harald, Tomasz, thank you for all your answers.
Thank you very much. It was really a pleasure being with you, and I hope there was some nice insights for all our guests.
Thank you so much for having us, and it was a great experience.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to today's episode about technology.
We of course invite you to subscribe our podcast, and we will hear you soon.
This episode was created by
Ewa Kolnier
and Tomasz Przewłocki as hosts,
Klaudia Bednarczyk and Monika Nowak as coordinators,
and Mateusz Czerniakowski and Mirko Ivankovic as directors and editors.